Alright guys, welcome back for more gaming news. It's again every time here, and tonight we will discuss about new upcoming gaming title, Gears 6, inclusive of its release date with all latest news and rumors surrounding it. A pivotal Gears executive departs, but the bloodbath must go on. Gears 5 was a spiritual reboot to the 14-year-old Gears of War series that laid the foundations for a new generation of Gears games for many more years to come. Besides the obvious name change seemingly inspired by the Fast and the Furious's reduction to Fast and Furious, Gears 5 shifted its focus away from J.D. Phoenix to make Kate Diaz its protagonist, experimenting with an RPG element during a pivotal moment of the story. This change in direction, coupled with sharpened controls expected out of any modern sequel, made Gears 5 the uncontested best Xbox exclusive of 2019. As such, there should be more installments of the gruesome franchise, even if the game is still several years away from releasing. Here's everything we do know about the inevitable Gears 6. Microsoft has not confirmed Gears 6, so it lacks an official release date. Still, fans shouldn't worry about whether or not there will be a follow-up. Gears 5 was declared Microsoft's most successful first-party release since Halo 4 on Xbox 360, so a sequel is essentially guaranteed. When could that realistically happen, however? Gears 5 hit shelves on September 6, 2019, 3 years after the release of Gears of War 4. If Microsoft keeps up that cadence, then Gears 6 could release as early as 2022. Microsoft might wait a little while longer to release it, though the coalition continues to support Gears 5 with new content. In a blog post on May 10, 2021, the coalition says that it won't be unveiling any new games for some time. As such, we can still expect that Gears 6 is years away at this point. The Gears franchise is consistently released on both Xbox consoles and PC as part of Microsoft's Play Anywhere program. There are no signs suggesting that Gears 6 will be any different, especially because Xbox has very few high-profile exclusives compared to its competitors. The success of Gears 5 had on Xbox One makes it a pivotal title for Microsoft's upcoming Xbox Series X console. The coalition basically confirms that it will be a next-gen exclusive in a May 2021 blog post, where they confirm they'll be switching to Unreal Engine 5 as the studio's main game engine. James Dominic J.D. Phoenix fends off a swarm creature with his chainsaw-equipped machine gun. As we look to future games, we're excited to start shifting our resources to next-gen development using Unreal Engine 5, the blog post says. Gears of War has always been at the front of Unreal Engine development, as a breakout 720p title for Xbox 360 through last year's 120fps multiplayer update for Xbox Series X and S, and we're excited to continue that tradition by developing on UE5 for multiple new projects in the coming years. Unreal Engine 5 tech demos have been stunning, so expect Gears 6 to look amazing when it comes out. Microsoft and the coalition likely won't share details about Gears 6 for some time, so don't expect it to be at Microsoft's E3 2021 press conference. In May 2021, the coalition explained that the shift to Unreal Engine 5 means that all of their games are ways out and not getting announced anytime soon. Shifting to a new engine is a big undertaking, so we want to be clear that we will not be announcing any new projects or titles for some time, the blog post explains, while still highlighting that Gears 5 will continue to get post-launch support. As for the next mainline game in the series though, don't expect to hear about it until we're closer to its release. Fergusson announced on Twitter on February 5, 2020, that he parted ways with Microsoft-owned studio The Coalition to head Activision Blizzard's Diablo franchise. He has played a pivotal role in every Gears of War game since the series' debut in 2006. Microsoft has yet to announce whoever might replace Fergusson as the Gears 6 game director moving forward. I began working on Gears of War over 15 years ago, and since then, it has been the joy of my life, he wrote. But now it's time for a new adventure. I leave Gears in the great hands of the coalition. While this is a pretty big loss for the studio, Gears of War will almost certainly grind on, especially now that Microsoft's Xbox Series X is launched. Gears 5 leaves ample room for a sequel to continue the story of Kate and her squadmates. They only barely managed to fend off a brutal attack by the Swarm, a race of hive-mind invaders that are the main antagonists in the series. The threat of this monstrous race still looms, as always, when the credits roll. As Kate, Delmondel Walker, and James Dominic J.D. Phoenix enter the final battle of Gears 5, Kate is faced with an impossible choice. The team comes face to face with the Queen of the Swarm, who happens to be a mutated tentacled humanoid of Kate's mother, Reyna Diaz, who was captured by the creatures some time ago. The Queen takes Del and JD hostage, and Kate only has time to save one of them. Kate frees whichever teammate players choose to save, and is forced to watch in terror as the Queen snaps the neck of the other. It's possible that the coalition will allow gamers to port their final save to the next Gears installment, similar to franchises like Mass Effect have done in the past. It's likely that the coalition will establish some kind of canon ending where one of these characters survives and the other dies, which is usually the case with these types of endings. Either way, this cliffhanger is too big to let sit for too long. Hopefully, we don't have to wait too long to find out. It may be a while before Gears 6 is announced, much less release for Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S and PC. The developers of the coalition released a blog post, stating that the team is working on upgrading from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5, in order to better work on multiple new projects. Shifting to a new engine is a big undertaking, so we want to be clear that we will not be announcing any new projects or titles for some time, the team says. Support for Gears 5 will continue through 2021, with Operation 7 and Operation 8, each of which brings new characters, new maps and more. The team closes the blog post by saying, "We're eager to get to work and show you what we're working on when the time is right." The coalition is one of the 15 studios at Xbox Game Studios. Together, with Bethesda Softworks, these two publishing divisions make up Xbox first party with 23 separate studios. In the Xbox One generation, the team at the coalition released Gears of War Ultimate Edition, Gears of War 4 and Gears 5 from 2015 through 2019, as well as the console version of Gears Tactics in 2020, and upgrades like a 120 FPS mode on Xbox Series X and S for Gears 5. With the coalition switching to Unreal Engine 5, and openly stating that it'll be a while before the studio's next game is released, it'll be interesting just what form the multiple new projects take. No doubt Gears 6 is one of the games being worked on, but what else is in store? We'll have to wait and see. If you were hoping to see the next mainline installment in the Gears of War series arrive on Xbox Series X anytime soon, you might want to dash those hopes right now. The coalition, which is the studio behind the Gears of War franchise, announced some major new developments at the company today which will lead to the next game in the series arriving later than normal. Over on the official Gears 5 website, the coalition revealed that moving forward, it will be changing its game engine to Unreal Engine 5 for its next generation titles. Considering the franchise's history, when it comes to the Unreal Engine, this revelation is something that makes quite a bit of sense, and was somewhat to be expected. So how does this affect Gears of War 6? Well, the coalition specifically made it clear that upgrading to Unreal Engine 5 is something that will take up quite a bit of time. So much time, in fact, that we shouldn't expect to hear anything about new games from the coalition for quite a bit. Shifting to a new engine is a big undertaking, so we want to be clear that we will not be announcing any new projects or titles for some time, the coalition said in its blog post. Essentially, this confirms that Gears of War 6 is pretty far away from releasing. "We're eager to get to work and show you what we're working on when the time is right," the post went on to say. Luckily, even though the next game in the series may not be announced for a few years, that doesn't mean that the coalition is done with Gears 5. The studio made clear that it already has plans for Operation 7 and 8, which are seasonal events within Gears 5 that bring in a load of new content. These new updates are set to continue on through the end of 2021 at the latest. Whenever Gears of War 6 does end up releasing, it will surely be coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC. Until then, however, you can keep checking out Gears 5 on the aforementioned platforms and Xbox One. And there you have it. Everything that we know about this upcoming title so far. Some additional info might be unveiled over the course of time, so make sure to check back as we'll be updating our channel as soon as more information get revealed from developers and all that. So guys, that's it. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then give this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Till then.